Of course I'm nervous today, you know, because this is it. It's been such a fun ride. You know, these have always been the greatest fans in the world, and to be saying goodbye to those people today is, it's not an easy thing to do.
For 19 years, Osborne Earl Smith has gone to work with the intention of doing something spectacular. And for 19 years, those of us who follow baseball have watched him do just that. You might as well have one name. When you talk about Ozzie, everyone knows who you're talking about. He is in the top 10 of every fielding record ever kept. 3 years ago, he pounded hit number 2,000. He's been to nearly every All-Star game since he started playing. And as you will see, you don't have to be a St. Louis Cardinals fan to love Ozzie. But this day is different. Ozzie is going to the ballpark to be part of his retirement ceremony. And we're going to be there to bring this special moment to you. And in this hour, a whole lot more. This is our look at the career of a baseball legend. And we invite you to stay with us.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizards.
Let's bring to the microphone the gentleman who managed the Cardinals longer than any manager in the history of the Cardinals, Hall of Famer Red Shane Deans.
The first time I saw Ozzie play was in Yuma, Arizona, when he was with the Padres. And when he come to the ballpark, he was always ready to play. When young kids came in the clubhouse, he was like the lead. He had Vince Coleman, took him under his wing, Willie McGee, Andahar, so many other ones. So Ozzie, as a friend, thanks for the memories. And you only got 2 more things to do. Win the World Series this year, and then the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Rich Gould. Ozzie Smith's retirement ceremony continues here at Busch Stadium. In 19 years of baseball, Ozzie has been the very best in the game. He has won 13 Gold Gloves. He's been to the All-Star game 15 times. He has an arm full of hitting and fielding records. He has turned more double plays than any shortstop in the game's history, and I could go on and on and on, but I think it'll be more fun for you and for me if we fire up the old projector and let you see for yourself exactly why we call Ozzie the Wizard.
Here's Ozzie running through. Gotcha.
I've seen this guy time and time and time again take base hits away from the opposition. He's just the best.
He leaves a legacy of the correct way to play shortstop. You know, everything that every shortstop does from here on out will be compared to Ozzie Smith.
He showed me more heart than I've ever seen in a ball player. He's kind of always been an inspiration to me and a lot of friends of mine.
There's Ozzie hitting one into the gap. That ball's going to drive in the tying run. Ozzie wants to get to third with 1 out. This game's tied.
Ozzie Smith's not only the most remarkable and acrobatic shortstop that I've ever seen, But I think what he showed the baseball world is how important that position is on a winner.
The greatest shortstop that the St. Louis fans have ever been privileged to see. And that flip, you know, this reverse somersault, oh, what I'd give to be able to do it.
Nothing to it.
I'll tell you what, though, you may be 38, but that was one of his better ones the last couple of years.
Well, I think the most unique thing about Ozzie was the start of the season with the flips, the back flip. Probably that was his signature of how great he was, and still is.
And when I threw the ball, you know, and the ball would hit anywhere in that general area, I just walked off the field because I know the game was over. That was like the confidence that I wanted our pitching staff to have in me. That's what I had in Ozzie Smith.
He had a sixth sense, and it was weird. He knew where things were. He could sense where people were. He knew where the ball was, and that's just a rare gift. And I think it's one of the reasons why Ozzie is such a great shortstop.
I found him to be a fellow who was very focused on the field, really into the game. And he is also a fellow who took great pride in the way he played and the way he handled himself.
I think of Ozzie Smith more than one home run or more than one play. I mean, he's acrobatic and superbly gifted. But really, I think the thing that I admired the most about Ozzie Smith, I remember when he was an automatic out in San Diego. He really was. And somehow, by hard work, and that was the only answer, by hard work, stubborn determination that he was not going to let the teams run over him, he made himself an excellent hitter. So sure, if you point out the home run in '85, but it just shows you what all that hard work did to get him there.
One thing I remember most is watching him take ground balls in infield. I mean, he won't even watch the first baseman. He's just taking balls, throwing it, taking it. And you're just amazed at how quick his hands are and just the way he's a magician.
Part of the fascination, I think, is that people have been able to see someone who's not 6'3", 6'4", achieve great things in their life. And I think that there's a common ground there that they see that if, in fact, I work hard, I can achieve great things. I think I've always played larger than I am as far as stature is concerned. So I think people see themselves through people like myself at being able to achieve things if they work hard and apply themselves.
You'll read and you'll hear stories about this for years and years to come. Your grandchildren are going to hear those stories about how Ozzie came to the ballpark and stood 20 or 30 feet away from the guy and hit the ball as hard as he could hit it, and Ozzie would catch it. And that's a routine. He's going through this routine every day.
I played wall ball all the time. I worked on my short hops and my forehand and my backhand, developing that skill. So when I make the transition to the baseball field, what I do is I get a coach to hit the ball from a short distance. And what I do is I'd get on my knees and I do nothing but use my hands.
So all you're doing is just picking it, basically,
right.
huh?
All you're doing is you're taking your legs out of it and you're working on the confidence in your hands, developing that hand and eye coordination or the confidence that you need in your hands to be able to make that play, because there are a lot of plays, and especially when I played on AstroTurf, there were a lot of plays that you had to do with one hand because you didn't have time to get in front of it.
What do you do with your legs?
Well, the legs are a very important part of it because that's what gets you in position to be able to throw to second base or throw to first base. So I develop drills now where I throw to the base without looking at the base, having a sense of where I am on the field at all times. Well, that's like going in the hole there and being able to throw the ball back this way without looking. And that's having a feel of where you are.
Down in spring training when he was maybe 32 or 33 years old, I'd see him working extra hard longer than the other players. I said, why do you kill yourself like that? He said, I have to. I'm not going to be this age next year, and I know I'm going to get old in this game. And it was those practices during those years
that allowed him to be playing at the advanced stage where he's playing.
And a broken bat pop up. Ozzie, can ya? Yes, sir.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. All right.
He's a Hall of Famer who wore number 45, Bob Gibson.
When Ozzie came out a while ago and he had a tear in his eye, I kind of got one in my eye too, because I remember that feeling when I retired, and it's virtually impossible not to be moved by 50,000 fans that remember all of the good things about you and not any of the bad things, and that's really wonderful.
While in Cincinnati last weekend, Ozzie signed a picture for me, and on it he wrote, "The torch is now yours, Barry. Continue the legacy of greatness." If I can give to this game a small portion of what this man has done, then I will feel truly blessed.
Ozzie Smith has spent a lot of time at Busch Stadium since he came to the Cardinals in 1982, but no day will mean more to him personally than today, when a stadium full of fans, press, and officials will retire the number 1 on the jersey that has served him and us so well. Last night was reunion time. The 82 team came back to town, and all those famous faces from the Cardinals' great past were together again.
We're gonna rock this town, rock it inside out. We're gonna rock this town, make them scream and shout.
The year is 1982, but the names are forever etched in storied chapters of Cardinals history. Willie, Hernandez, Hendrick, cries of Bruce, 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 Porter, Herb, and of course Ozzie. Having been acquired in February of this year, the Cardinals' spectacular new shortstop was the final piece of the championship puzzle. Smith not only set a World Series record for most putouts by a shortstop, he also stole the hearts of fans and teammates alike. "14 years later, some have returned to pay tribute, to remember, and relive the magic."
You know, 82 was a team type thing because we had a few guys that had been in the pennant race before, but we had a lot of guys that had never been there. And the pieces of the puzzle had to fit, and Ozzie coming over was a big part of it.
The only thing that comes to my mind is how many times that I got so irritated at Ozzie when he would dive for one and not catch it. You know, I mean, that's the way he was. I mean, you expected him to make that play, and when he didn't, you were disappointed.
I sometimes think that infield, maybe it isn't recognized as such, but I do think it was probably one of the best defensive infielders ever put together.
Well, we knew in 82 that, you know, as a pitching staff, if we kept the ball in the ballpark, somebody was going to catch it. I mean, you know, we had Willie and George and Lonnie, and then we had Ozzie and Tommy Herr and Obie and Hernandez, and, of course, Darryl behind the plate. And I don't know about fielding percentages. I'm not real big on the statistic part of it, but that's got to be one of the best defensive teams that was ever assembled at one time.
You know, we could cover a lot of ground, and when we caught the ball, we were able to do the right thing with it, and it was fun. It was fun being a part of an athletic infield like that.
Yeah, Ozzie would always tell me, and I felt like I was a pretty decent third baseman and covered ground. He'd go, "Obie, move over a couple of steps." I say, "Ozzie, I'm already on the line. Move over. I got everything in the hole. Don't worry." And I mean, amazing. He did it, too.
Ozzie granted us a reunion of another kind a couple of weeks ago. He took a walk through the old schoolyard in Los Angeles, where thoughts of being a major leaguer started to form. Before the great plays, golden gloves, special memories, was something more lasting, a young man's love of the game.
This is the reason.
Today, Ozzie Smith returns to reminisce about this dusty old sandlot field where he first plied his trade. Locke High School in Los Angeles was a powerhouse, featuring Ozzie at short and Baltimore's Eddie Murray at first.
One of the schools that beat us consistently in the playoffs was Taft High School, and there's a guy by the name of Robin Young who went there, who got drafted as a 17, 18-year-old kid out of high school and went straight to the big leagues. And we ended up sending more guys to the big leagues and hopefully more guys to the Hall of Fame than they did. So we won out in the long run.
Just as these little leaguers, who are now playing in the shadow of the Gateway Arch, idolize him, Ozzie grew up with his own set of heroes. It seems like just yesterday, he was the kid with a big league dream.
It's a storybook. It's been a storybook career for me. I had no idea that, you know, when I was playing out there on that field, on those rocks and through all of the bad hops, that one day I'd be sitting here even talking about making it to Cooperstown.
Yeah, this was the field of dreams where it all began. Ozzie to Eddie, some 20-plus years ago. Could it be that long? This was their home. Someday soon, Lock High's finest will be reunited in Cooperstown at baseball's Hall of Fame.
It was great, and it's fun to be able to say that these were the humble beginnings, and we did something with our lives.
It's been a pleasure knowing you since the age of 9, 10 years old. I mean, we've come a long way together. Had some pretty decent careers here, definitely long ones. I can't think of any other shortstop I would rather have out there behind me. Well, maybe Ripken. But no, just kidding aside, no, this is from one good friend to another. Hey, have a wonderful day, and you've had a great career. Thanks.
Here we go.
Out of all of those great plays that you saw earlier, Ozzie will pick out his favorites when we return.
This gentleman probably is the greatest manager ever in the history of baseball, Whitey Herzog.
On December 26, 1981, I got on an airplane in Kansas City and I flew to San Diego. I flew there to meet Ozzie Smith and his agent Ed Gutley. And 5 days after we made the deal, I found out that Ozzie had a no-trade contract. If you'll come to St. Louis and play for me for X amount of dollars next year, and you don't like the Cardinal organization, and you don't like the city of St. Louis, and at the end of the year you don't like me, I will give you your release. I didn't have a hell of a lot to lose because I was going to release my shortstop anyway. He was the best I ever seen with the fans off the field. But the thing I relish most about my relationship with Ozzie Smith, it has been 6 years now that I've been a big league manager, and we have remained very good friends.
We are at Busch Stadium as the retirement ceremony for Ozzie Smith continues. Now that we've shown you all those great plays by the Wizard, we asked him what his favorite memories are. Out of all those years and all those plays, here are Ozzie's favorites.
Matthews delivers, ground ball up the middle. Ozzie to his left, loves the ball, looks at first, throws to third to Pendleton. Pendleton to the plate, the runner trying to score. He is out, and the inning is over.
I think I probably went to third here because the ball was hit kind of slow, and I realized that Gary ran extremely well, and I knew this guy would probably be trying to score. So, you know, it turned out to be a pretty good play.
And a pop fly behind short. Coming hard is Ford, and they dive. Ozzie caught it.
In this particular play here, you know, there's so much that could have gone wrong. We both dove, and I just missed his spike. You know, so the difficulty in that play right there was, it was a high degree of difficulty. So I said, thanks for not killing me.
Here we go.
It just happened that the ball stuck in my hand, you know, and I was able to scramble my feet and throw him out. I think it was the element of surprise, probably more than anything, because he was probably thinking base hit all the way. And by the time he realized it wasn't a base hit, that I had gotten to the ball, to try and throw it in gear was too late. Those are things you don't teach. You know, you can't teach something like that. That was just one of those reactionary things that I was able to pull off.
Fly ball down the right field line. That might be it. It stays fair into the corner. It'll go for at least 2. He's around second. Goes for 3. Number 2,000 is a triple. Ozzie claps his hands as he goes into third.
Hit number 2,000. That was, in closing in on that, I had no idea that I was closing in on that. I had a friend call me, who lives here now, but called me from San Diego and said, are you aware that you're about to get your 2,000th hit? That was really the first time that I had even, it had even crossed my mind. That was a good time, you know, it was really nice. Not bad for a defensive player.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard.
It's you against the pitcher at that particular time. You know, you've got to be able to put all those other things aside and be able to concentrate on that at bat, that moment, and everything that's happening then. You can't worry about what's happened before. You can't worry about what's going to happen in the future. It's here and now. And that particular instance there, you know, Neat Fuhr tried to come inside with a fastball, and it paid off.
Brand new battery, Alomar and Percival, and a standing ovation for Ozzie Smith.
You know, when things like this happen, and not many guys get to experience what it is that that I'm experiencing right now, as far as, you know, the tour and everything. But the appreciation that people have shown me as I've made my tour around baseball has been phenomenal in itself. And I think it says a lot about what it is that I've tried to bring to baseball. I've tried to give people the human side of what it is that we do. I can remember going out to Dodger Stadium and knowing what it felt like to walk up to a player and have him ask for an autograph and have them say no to you, you know, and that's not a very good feeling. I mean, especially when you're coming out and you're their fans. So I've always taken it to heart to make sure that, you know, I take a little time to say thank you to the fans.
Man, that's good. And when you're talking about Ozzie's, you're talking about one of the most popular watering holes and sports bars in the city. It's really just one piece of Ozzie's extensive off-the-field empire. It's why St. Louis truly is the land of Oz.
They're gonna put me in the movies. They're gonna make a big star out of me.
He's the most recognizable athlete in St. Louis history. That face, that smile, the name. Make no mistake, away from the game, the world's greatest shortstop is definitely a pitch man.
I will hold this can of best soda and do a backflip, and I won't even spill a drop.
Wow.
Now stand back just a little bit and let me concentrate. Thank you. I never think I'm really good at it. You know, people always say, well, boy, you're easy at that and this, that, and the other. I never, I don't know. I never look at myself very seriously as far as those things are concerned. Ready, Dustin?
Yeah, Dad, let's go.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
I might go out there today and then do some hooping and hollering myself.
Let's go to the next game, and we'll go out there, and we're going to cheer them Redbirds right on.
Hi, kids. I'm Ozzie Smith, shortstop for the St. Louis Cardinals. While I was growing up, working hard on the baseball field and in the classroom helped me to get a good start in life.
Were you a gymnast as a kid? I mean...
No, I wasn't. I was just a dumb kid that would try anything.
Ozzie Smith, I knew it was you. And this must be your bodyguard.
Take him everywhere I go.
Ozzie's going to put it out of reach with a strike.
Oh! If there's a charitable cause, Ozzie's there. If there's a community concern, call Ozzie. If a teammate or fellow ball player is hosting an off-season outing to raise money for those less fortunate, count on Oz to make it a hit.
Well, Ozzie has really improved as a golfer. And
no doubt about it. The man with a golden glove really has a heart of gold.
I came here and committed myself to St. Louis, and St. Louis committed itself to me. St. Louis is home for me. It's my family. Most of my family has grown up here. You know, so we both opened our arms, I think.
Well, I bet you I'm gonna be a big star. Might win an Oscar, you can never tell.
Commercials, charities, causes. Through the years, Ozzie has proven that a small person working hard can help those around him achieve big things.
And all I gotta do is act naturally.
One thing about Ozzie Smith, he makes time for people, whether it's to sign an autograph or to shake someone's hand or to be a dad.
Oh man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. I want to look in my eyes and you can tell that's true.
Ozzie is never far from his two sons, O.J., who is 14, and Dustin, now 9, and daughter Taryn. We all remember when he turned his opening day flip duties over to the boys.
We had our family trip. Ozzie had his two sons with him, and you cannot believe how many times that I saw those two sons of his just hugging him, giving him a hug. Not only does he love those boys of his, and they love him back, but they're friends of his too, and it's great to see.
For all the tough situations Ozzie has made it through in his career, none was tougher than that day in June of this year when he announced that he was leaving.
I think everybody probably knows the reason that we're here. I will always consider myself a St. Louis Cardinal, and I want very much to complete my Major League Baseball career as a Cardinal. Thus, I have decided to retire as an active player from Major League Baseball at the end of the 1996 season. I will always cherish the special bond I have made with our fans, and I also want to thank the St. Louis Cardinal organization for giving me the opportunity to succeed as a professional baseball player.
It ain't easy to ever say goodbye. It ain't easy letting go of the ones you love. But believe me, we'll meet again by and by.
I just want to thank everyone who has helped the Cardinals and me during the last 15 years. Thank you.
Who better than to represent the ball club as a speaker at the microphone than the gentleman who moved in with Ozzie when he came here in 1982, Willie McGee.
So I'm here to speak about a special person and a special friend. And I just want to let him know that I appreciate every moment and everything that he's done for me throughout my career.
This guy has taught me so much in the game of baseball. He's helped me mentally, physically, and I tell you, he's really kept me sane in the game of baseball. And it's an honor for me to represent the team, you know, to give you a present, a gift that will be with you for the rest of your life. I was there Thursday night to see you do your performance. For those who missed it, I'm gonna give you a little sample. I think it's only fitting that we give Ozzie something musical. And we hope you like this gift, Ozzie. We bought you a baby grand piano.
Welcome back to Busch Stadium. I'm Rich Gould as we continue to say goodbye to the Wizard. Jack Buck and Mike Shannon have been involved in nearly every one of his great plays. They're the voices that have brought the excitement home to you.
Ozzie Smith has had some day today, folks. I'll tell you. You talk about a true champion coming to the front. Ozzie Smith has been it today. And a 2-1 to McGee. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. The shortstop can't get it. Here comes Ozzie. Here comes the throw. They may get him. Save! Save! Ozzie scores! Look at this scene at home plate. The Cardinal team is out pounding on Ozzie Smith. Pounding on Willie McGee. What a ball game. What an unbelievable come-from-behind win by this Cardinal club. He's playing now better right now than he has in the last 3 years. Better range, throwing better. He's healthy, and he's playing, and he knows when he's going to play. I have never seen an athlete that is so cognizant of fans. He signs autographs. He takes time with people. I've watched him. I said, nah, this can't be true. This guy can't be this good. This guy can't be this sincere. But he is. Ozzie Smith steps out of the dugout, and they give him a standing ovation. I mean, there's a sincere love here. You go years ago, you say St. Louis Cardinals, they said gas house gang. And then you said St. Louis Cardinals, they said Stan the Man. And then you said St. Louis Cardinals, they said Bob Gibson, Lou Brock, and in the 60s, okay? You say St. Louis Cardinal baseball now, you say Ozzie Smith.
The pitch, long one to right, back at the track at the wall, might go, home run! Home run!
I liken him somewhat to Musial. I've known Stan for many years, but before I met him, I heard stories about how great Stan Musial, what a great person he was. And I said to myself, well, nobody can be this good. Then when I met him, I thought, well, half of this is an act. But then when I knew him longer and longer for a period of time, I said, this man is for real, and Ozzie's for real. And I like those soaring pivots that he makes at second base. You just can't get it. You ever see anybody knock him down? I don't think I ever saw anybody knock him down on a pivot at shortstop, and he never, ever shied away. He has a lot of guts. And so he helped us win all those years, and it's a shame to see him go, and there'll never be another one like him. There never will be another Ozzie Smith.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
This was terribly spontaneous to the point where I thought I had really messed up the call. But you're right. He's known for that as much as he's known for his defensive play.
I guess the consensus has become that he's the best defensive shortstop who's ever played. And he certainly has some competition. Marty Marion right here in town. Mark Belanger, who I saw for years with the Baltimore Orioles, was not as flashy as Ozzie, but he was certainly terrific. And there are a couple of people coming up who might get their names in the argument. Omar Vizquel has won several Gold Gloves with Seattle and now with Cleveland, and the new kid Ordonez with the Mets. But I think the overwhelming consensus is that Ozzie, in terms of making the routine play every single day and making the eye-popping play, that he's the best guy.
Brand new battery, Alomar and Percival, and a standing ovation for Ozzie Smith.
We talked about it before the game, but it was really standard stuff that was fairly obvious. If he came up and he got the great tribute, stay with him on camera. If he makes an out, which he did, he grounded out to second base, stay with him, don't follow the next batter to the plate, stay with him to the dugout. But any good director and producer would follow that storyline. And in fact, what we did was we interviewed Ozzie in the dugout afterwards, and I think somebody hit a triple. I think it was Ellis Burks, but I can't remember who. Hit a triple while Ozzie was being interviewed. Normally, you don't like to miss live action like that, but Ozzie really was the story. In sports now, there isn't too much that's constant. Players come and go. You've got a guy that you can associate with all that. A lot of people probably went from grade school to college with Ozzie Smith, or from high school to when they were married and had their own children and their own families, with Ozzie Smith being one of the constants in their life. They probably went to ball games taking their children, and the first ball player that their child recognized and cheered for was Ozzie Smith. So Ozzie becomes a part of their personal memories. Ozzie Smith was the identity of the Cardinals. Whitey Herzog, I guess, for a while was another one, but the only guy that spans all those years, other than Jack Buck in the broadcast booth, is Ozzie.
On behalf of the Cardinal organization and in recognition of the tremendous accomplishments of Ozzie Smith, uniform number 1 is hereby officially retired.
Well, now, here's a dangerous concept. We passed around a video camera on a recent Cardinals road trip and told the guys to talk about Ozzie. Here's what came back.
Hey, Oz, how you doing? We're just trying to make a film here. Mabes, TJ, and I are going to get together with all the players in here, and we're going to talk a little shop about you, and hopefully things do all right. So, hope you enjoy this.
The thing about Oz that I remember, you know, my first year in '87, you know, he was still right there in his prime, and I saw him make a play. I said, boy, that was the greatest play I'd ever seen. About 3 weeks later, I saw another play. Oh, that's the greatest play. About a month later, and finally it stopped, but, you know, it stopped till '96.
Give me something that people don't know back there.
Well, he's a troublemaker, that's for sure, in the locker room.
Instigator.
Definitely starts a lot of trouble.
Stays in the middle of everything.
Yeah, that's Ozzie Smith.
Instigator. Everybody's talking about what a nice guy is, community service work and all that. I don't like Osborne Earl.
So you say stay away, brother?
Yeah, you gotta stay away.
We had a really long game last night, and after watching you play and do the things that you did, I decided I ain't coming to your party, because there ain't gonna be a party.
Today, Ozzie Day again?
Yeah, it's usually
Another Ozzie Day. I can't wait.
Ozzie, it's been fun. You know, I hope you enjoy your retirement. You should have retired a long time ago. Your game has slipped bad. You can't get the balls anymore. You make all these diving plays that are routine plays. Royce is way better than you, so go on and retire. See ya. Peace out.
All right, Royce.
What can I say about him? I don't even know the guy. I ain't been here for a year and a half. How can I say anything about the guy? All I know is about his legend stuff.
Ozzie, I know he announced your retirement early, and you've been getting a lot of nice gifts. Everybody's been making a big deal and going gaga when Ozzie Smith comes to town. But after seeing you play the last couple of weeks, I don't think I'll be coming to your party, because I don't think you're going to be having a party.
Every time I look up, I see him crying. You know, he got to work on it. He's a man, you know. He can't cry. You got to be a little more.
Yes, that's correct.
Hard, tough, you know.
I mean, every last game on the road, he's crying.
He's crying. You say hi
There's no
to him,
crying in baseball. He holds up the ball game. You should do the performance that he does every time everyone gets him standing.
When he's like,
he lifts his hat up. Thank you.
There ain't gonna be a party.
Seriously, Ozzie, you've been the best to me personally, and I just want to thank you, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. And John, how about you?
Me too.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past said. You got a friend in me.
And one last thing. If you try and figure out what Ozzie's like, when your friends are William McGee and George Hendrick, it tells you a lot about the man.
We are watching with you as the St. Louis Cardinals continue to honor Ozzie Smith. One thing about announcing your retirement early, the entire country has a chance to say goodbye.
Tonight we're honoring a man who has set the standard for shortstops. A man who is retiring at the end of this season, the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith.
For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see.
Ozzie's the greatest that I've ever seen play, but he was a perfectionist in his trade, and there'll never be another Ozzie Smith.
The wrong that you made right.
On this, his last trip to Shea, we wish him well and recognize the end of an important chapter in baseball history.
You've been like a brother figure and a father figure to me, and I really appreciate that. And I just know the game is going to miss one of the game's finest players.
And
And I'd like to thank all of you, the fans, that have been so gracious to me for my trips here to Colorado. It's been a fun ride. Thank you for sharing my dream. Thank you.
You were my voice when I couldn't speak.
What I'm experiencing now is not something that everybody gets to experience, you know, going around on a tour and have people show their love and their admiration for you in every place that you play. That's a great feeling. That's a great feeling of accomplishment, and it's very hard to put into words exactly how that makes you feel inside.
Because you love me.
It has always been a joy and a pleasure to come here and play before such great baseball fans.
I'd have to say, of all the guys I've ever played with, I probably had more fun being around Ozzie Smith, and he seemed to enjoy himself more in the baseball field than anybody I ever played with.
You know, you're always a special person to me. I cherish just being a friend. All the fans, all the media, all the people in baseball definitely have to show you much respect.
It's an honor to be able to see you play as hard as you played every year and go out there and do the things you did, diving for balls, doing your backflips, doing everything that everyone else wants to emulate out there. Actually be able to play against you there in '85, so it was fun.
He's been a good friend of mine, a guy that I've idolized and always looked up to. Literally. I think you might be taller than me, but I doubt it. You've been a good friend of mine. I'm sad to see you go, but then again, I'm happy to see you go too. Hopefully we can meet again down the road sometime, but Ozzie, you're the best.
You saw the best there was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believed.
The one thing I remember about your play is I could never get you on a double play. I tried to get you for 9 years, tried to upend you, and you went around me and over me and under me, and to this day I'm still grabbing air every time I go to second base on a double play. Thanks for the memories, Ozzie.
The only person who might know would be the great and wonderful Wizard of Oz himself.
The video that they put together, which was a big production, with the Wizard of Oz and the way that they did it, it really kind of captured, I think, what my career has been about. Just the way that they did it, and from an emotional standpoint, there were a lot of friends there, a lot of family there, and special time in my life.
I can remember my days of catching the bus and coming out here and playing or watching the Dodgers play, growing up as a youngster here in Los Angeles. And most of all, I'd like to thank for all of you for being a part of my dream of having the opportunity to play Major League Baseball. Thank you for a wonderful evening, and thank you all.
I know very well sitting here right now that I could probably play another 2 or 3 years if I chose to do that, but one of the things that I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to be looked upon as playing the game as well when I left it as I was when I came in. And right now I think I'm doing that.
I'm everything I am because you loved me.
I don't know how much more energy you have left. But here he is. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. Here's the Wizard.
I'm not going to make this very long. First of all, I'd like to thank God for giving me the ability to go out and perform 19 years in a sport that I truly love. I'd like to thank my mom for being my inspiration and my driving force.
But I must say that being here today with my family and 50,000 of my closest friends has to be the highlight. In closing, I'd like to say thank each and every one of you for traveling down my yellow brick road. Thank you.
What will Ozzie do now, you ask? Well, he has many successful business endeavors going. His tireless charity work won't end once he has left the field. And Ozzie Smith will never, never be gone from the game that he has played so long and so well. We hope you have enjoyed our tribute to Ozzie. And here's our final chance to say goodbye to the Wizard. Thanks for watching.
You're